This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so let us discuss about our first topic in the material management, that is the enterprise structure. So now what is the meaning of this enterprise structure in the material management? First of all, what is the meaning of an enterprise? So enterprise is nothing but some company or industry or some organization. So the structure is nothing but what is the hierarchy that you are going to follow in your company. For suppose if you have, like if you're having your own company, so what we are going to do? So first we are going to have a main branch office, and after that we are going to have some plants to manufacture the products, and then we are going to have some godowns to store the products. Okay, so all this is the hierarchy for our company. So in the SAP, we are going to maintain the enterprise structure as company, and then we are going to have a company code, and we are going to have a plant. Shankar, able to hear my voice, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now see here, we are having a company and then company code. So we are going to have a plant and then storage location. And after the storage location, we are going to have a purchasing organization, and we are going to have a purchasing group. So this is the enterprise structure that we are going to have in the material management. So basically, what is the company, what is the company code, and what is this plant, and what is the storage location, and what is the purchasing organization, and then purchasing group. So here, company code, plant, storage location, purchasing organization, and then purchasing group, each and everything, it will be called as a organizational unit. So we are going to call the company as an organizational unit. We are going to call the company code as an organizational unit, and we are going to call the plant show location. So each and everything, it is going to be called as a organizational unit. So here, first of all, what is the meaning of a company? Company means it is the topmost organizational unit in the SAP system. Company means it is the topmost organizational unit in the SAP system, and whatever the data that we are going to maintain at the company level, that is going to be applicable to all the remaining organizational units. Okay, so company means it is the topmost organizational unit in the SAP system, and whatever the data that we are going to maintain at the company level, so that data will be applicable to all the remaining organizational units. So that is the definition of a company. Now, what is the meaning of a company code? Company code is nothing but it is an independent accounting unit. It is an independent accounting unit, and also it will be having its own profit and loss statement. It will be having its own profit and loss statements. Now, what is the meaning of an independent accounting unit? Independent accounting unit in the sense it will be having its own clients. It will be having its own clients. What is the meaning of this profit and loss statement? So it means at each and every quarter, Quarter means 3 months, at each and every quarter, or else for each and every 6 months or 1 year. Okay, so we are going to maintain the profit. That company code they are going to display like how much is the profit percentage they got, or else how much is the loss percentage they got. So that information they are going to display. So that is the definition of a company code. Company code means it is an independent accounting unit and it will be having its own profit and loss statement. Now let me tell you an example. Let us take a Tata Group. Okay. Under the Tata Group, we are having multiple organizations, right? Like we are having TCS, we are having Tata Motors, we are having Tata Chemicals, we are having Tata Salt, we are having Titan Watches, we are having many more organizations under a single Tata Group. If you take the Tata Group as a company, okay, if you take the Tata Group as a company, all these organizations under the Tata Group will be called as a company codes. All those will be called as a company codes. Now, what is the definition of company that I have told you? Company means it is the topmost organizational unit. It means if you take the Tata Group is the ultimate head for all these organizations. And also, whatever the data we are going to maintain at the company level, so that data will be applicable to all the remaining organizational units, right? So here also, in the Tata Group, some board of directors will be there. So whatever the decisions that the board of directors were taking, so those decisions will be applicable to all the organizations under the Tata Group. Okay. Now, what is the definition of a company code? Company code means, as I said, it is an independent accounting unit, right? If you take TCS, they're having their own clients, like for suppose Nike, Reebok, Adidas, some international banks, some international airlines, Olympus Corporation, okay, Facebook, Google, Microsoft. So all these are the clients for the TCS. And also at each and every quarter, the TCS is going to display like how much is the loss percentage they got, or else how much is the profit percentage they got. So all the information they are going to display to the public. So that is the difference in between the company and a company code. Okay. Any doubts until now, Dinesh or Shankar?
Oh, sir. Yes, clear.
Okay. So now see here, what is the meaning of a plant? So plant is nothing but it is a place where the manufacturing activities are going to be taken care. What is the meaning of manufacturing activities? Manufacturing activities means either if you want to manufacture a finished product or if you want to manufacture a semi-finished product. What is the difference between finished and semi-finished product? If you take a car is a finished product. Okay. Inside the car, we are going to have car seats and then car outer body, engine. Okay, so these are called as the semi-finished products. Either you are going to manufacture a finished product or you are going to manufacture a semi-finished product in the plant. So once we have manufactured, after that we need some place to store those products, right? So for that only we are having the storage location, and also to manufacture those products we need some raw material, right? So whatever the raw material you are getting it from the nearby plants of your company, or else whatever the raw materials you are getting it from the outside people, that is called as a vendor. Okay, whatever the materials we are getting it from the vendor location, so all those materials and the products, each and everything, we are going to store it in the storage location. Now, what is the meaning of a purchasing organization? Purchasing organization means it is an organization which is responsible for the procurement activities. It is an organization which is responsible for the procurement activities. Now, what is the meaning of procurement activities? So procurement activities means there are two types. One is internal procurement, another one is external procurement. What is the difference between internal and the external procurement? Internal procurement means if you are getting the material from the nearby plants of your company, it is called as a internal procurement. If you are getting the material from the outside people vendor, that is called as a external procurement. Okay, so both the procurement activities are going to be taken care by this purchasing organization. Now, what is the meaning of a purchasing group? Purchasing group is nothing but it consists of a single buyer or it consists of some group of buyers. Buyer is nothing but a person. It consists of a single person or it consists of some group of persons who are responsible for daily day-to-day activities. What is the meaning of this day-to-day activities? See, at each and every client location, some SAP end users will be working. Okay, so daily they'll be creating purchase requisitions, purchase orders, and then they will be doing some floor activities. So all these are the day-to-day activities for the purchasing group people. Okay, so this is the enterprise structure that we are going to have in the material management. So now we will see how to create all this enterprise structure in the material management. Any doubts until now?
No, sir.
No, sir, clear.
Okay, fine. Okay, so let me log into the SAP. Just a minute, guys. Okay, yeah. So now see here. If you want to add a server, so once you install the SAP in your system, even in the real time, you are going to do the same thing. Okay, even in the real time also, if you want to install the, so once you install the SAP, you need to click on this new button and then click on the connection. So once you click on the connection, then click on the next. Once you click on the next, so here we need to enter the application server ID, instance number, system ID, all these three details. We are going to provide it to you, but in the real time, the client will let you know all these details. And then you need to click on the finish button. Once we click on the finish button, so then we can be able to see the server. So once you click on the server, so now we need to enter the user ID and the password. We need to enter the user ID and the password. Okay, now see here. So this is the first SAP screen that we are going to see in the SAP, that is SAP Easy Access. So this is the initial screen that we are going to have in the SAP. Okay, so now how we are going to create a company or company code plan, so whatever it may be. So okay, how we are going to create all those things. For that, there are two methods in the SAP. If you want to create anything, here in the SAP, we should not use the word as create. Okay, so we need to use the word as configure. Configure is nothing but a create. If you want to configure something in SAP, so there are two methods. One is navigation method. Okay, another one is a P code method. So first of all, we will see how the navigation method it is going to look like. Okay, so if you want to go to the navigation, first you need to enter the SPRO here. I will let you know what is the SPRO later, but as of now, you need to enter the SPRO in this empty space. So this empty space is called as a command field. We need to enter SPRO here. Click on the enter button. So here you need to click on this IMG. IMG is nothing but a implementation guide. I will let you know what is the IMG later. Now click on this IMG. Now see, this is the navigation that we are talking about. Okay, so this is the SAP navigation, and this navigation, it is not only for the material management. This navigation is for the each and every module, whether it is MM or finance or sales and distribution, okay, or HR, whatever the module it is, they need to come to this navigation, and then they need to configure their respective configurations. Okay, so now now I want to create a company, right? If you want to create a company, the navigation is, you need to click on this enterprise structure. Under the enterprise structure, you need to go to the definition. Now under the definition, you need to click on the financial accounting. Now under the financial accounting, now see there is a defined company, right? You need to click on this defined company. Okay. So here, if you click on the new entries, we can create a company. So now we saw how to create a company. Now we saw, how we are going to create a company by using the navigation method, right? So let me tell you about what is the T-code method. But before that, remember this heading: change view, internal trading partners overview. Why? Because either you can use the navigation or else you can use the T-code method. You are going to come to the same screen in the SAP. So for that only, I am just asking you to remember the heading, so that once we saw how to create a company by using the T-code method, we are going to come to the same screen. Okay, now come back. So now let me tell you what is the meaning of this T-code. T-code is nothing but a transactional code. T-code is nothing but a transactional code. What is the meaning of this transactional code? See, T-code is a 4-digit ID. It is a 4-digit ID which was given by the SAP for each and every SAP screen. For each and every SAP screen, SAP has provided a standard T code. Okay. So why we are having a T code for each and every SAP screen is, we can navigate easily to any of the SAP screen in the SAP without wasting any time. It means within seconds we can be able to navigate to whatever the screen we want. Okay, but the thing is, we need to know the T code. If you know the T code, you can go where, you can go to the screen wherever you want. Okay, now I have entered SPRO, right? Earlier I have entered an SPRO. What is the meaning of SPRO? SPRO is nothing but SAP project reference object. So this is the meaning of an SPRO. SPRO, it is a T code. SPRO is a T code which is used to configure the SAP system. SPRO is a T code which is used to configure the SAP system. So it means if you want to configure something in the SAP, so we need to use the SPRO T code. Now, what is the meaning of IMG? IMG, we have clicked on this IMG, right? This one. If you click on this IMG, then only we can be able to go into the navigation. Right? So IMG is nothing but implementation guide. IMG is nothing but an implementation guide. What is the meaning of this implementation guide? Implementation guide is a tool which contains the SAP navigation. Implementation guide is a tool which contains the SAP navigation. So once you click on the IMG, so then only we can be able to go into the navigation, right? So for that is the reason IMG is nothing but it is an implementation guide, and it is a tool which contains the SAP navigation. So either we can use the navigation method, okay, or else we can use the T code method. Okay, if you want to configure something in SAP, either we can use the navigation method or else we can use the T code method. Okay, fine. Any doubts until now?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. Fine.
Okay, fine. Now see here. So now let me tell you the T code for a company. The T code, if you want to create a company, the T code is OX15. Whatever the T codes that we are going to discuss in these sessions, those T codes are very, 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 very important. Okay. I mean, we need to buy out those T codes. I mean, why? Because they are going to be, I mean, very important at the time of interview, and also when you go and work in the project. So those are very important. Okay. OX15, it is a T code to create a company. For the company code, it is OX02, and for the plant, it is OX10, and for the storage location, it is OX09. For the purchasing organization, it is OX08, and for the purchasing group, it is OME4. So these are the T codes for the enterprise structure in the material management. It is not like we are going to discuss about each and every T code in the SAP. Okay, whatever the T codes were important for the interview and also for the project purpose. So those T codes only we are going to discuss in these sessions. Okay, now see, what is the T code to create a company? OX15, right? Now let us enter the OX15 here and then see what happens. OX15. Click on the enter button. Now see, change view internal trading partners overview. So this is the heading that we saw for the company creation, right? By using the navigation. So either you can use the navigation method or else you can use the T code method to configure anything in the SAP. Okay, so this is what the T code is about. But which is more advantageous? The T code is more advantageous. Why? Because within seconds we can be able to go to the respective SAP screen. Okay, but why we are using the navigation means it is not, I mean, we cannot be able to remember each and every T code in the SAP, right? For each and every SAP screen, there will be different T codes. So we cannot be able to remember each and every T code if you want to configure the SAP MM. Okay, so for that is a reason we need to go with the navigations. So, but whenever you are having some doubts, so I mean, for suppose if you want to do some display, if you want to check something, so then we can use the T code method if you know that particular SAP screen. So then we can be able to proceed with our configurations. Okay. Now let us see how to create a company in the SAP. If you want to create a company in the SAP, I have told you that the navigation is, we need to go to SPRO. Whenever you want to go to the navigation, this is the same process. We need to enter SPRO and then we need to click on the IMG, and then here we need to go to the enterprise structure. Under this enterprise structure, go to the definition. Under the definition, go to the financial accounting. Now under the financial accounting, you need to click on the define company. So now click on the new entries. If you want to create a company, we need to click on the new entries. Once you click on the new entries, so here we are going to provide a company ID. Just a minute. Okay, yeah. Okay, now see here. If you want to create a company, so first you need to enter the ID here. Okay. Still these idiots are playing crackers. Just a minute, guys. I will shut down the windows. Okay. So here we need to enter the company ID. So here what would be the company ID? ID in the sense we need to enter some unique ID for the company. Unique ID in the sense, see, we are all human, right? But you are having one name and then I'm having some other name. Okay, so here also, whatever the company we are creating or else whatever the configuration we are doing for each and everything, there should be a different unique IDs, and those unique IDs we can call it as a code, CODE. Okay, so now I need to provide some unique ID for my company. Okay, I am going, so either you can enter a numerical, some numerical digits, or else you can enter normal alphabetical, or else you can enter both alphanumeric also. Okay, I am going to enter it as something like AG10, or else I will take it as some AB10. Okay, now enter the company name. It is Nike India. And here if you see all the address details in the real time you are going to fill. Okay, why? Because you are going to get all the details from the client, so you are going to fill all the details. But now it is not required. Why? Because there is no mandatory field here. Okay, but if you click on the save button, after clicking on the save button, if there are any mandatory fields which got hidden, so at that point of time the system is throwing an error to me. Now see what happens. Click on the enter button. Now see, it is asking to enter the country. Why? Because country is a mandatory field here, and whenever you see the message with the red color, it means it is an error, and whenever we see the message with the yellow color, it means it is a warning. Okay, now enter the country. Country is IN. I am going to enter the country as IN. Now click on the enter button. It is showing that already exists with the same key. So for that is the reason I told you that it should be a unique ID. Okay, so I need to change the ID from AB10 to some other ID. I'll put as AJ10. It is also already existed. AM10. Okay, now see here. Now click on the save button. Once you click on the save button, now see what happens. The system is going to ask you to enter a customizing request number. Now, what is the meaning of this customizing request number? Customizing request number means, see, now we are, now we are creating some configurations, right? Okay, it means now I have created a company. After some months, or else after some days and all, if the client came and asked like who is the person created this respective configuration, so at that point of time we need to be in a position to tell to the client like who is the person created those configurations, right? So for that is the reason we are having this customizing request. If you want to create a new customizing request, so we can click on this create request, and then here you need to enter some description. I am going to enter some enterprise structure, and here we can see, right, there is a user ID, SD user ID. Okay, some SD user 6. So this is, this is my SAP user ID. So with this, with this user ID, the client will be knowing like who is the person created this respective configuration. Now, if you click on this save button, the system is going to give you a new request number. Okay, so whenever you keep on clicking on this create request, the system is going to give you a new request number. But according to the client requirement, either we can have the common customizing request number for all the enterprise structure, or else according to the client requirement, either you can have the customizing request number individually for each and every organizational unit also. Okay, so that and all depending upon the client requirement. Now click on the save button. Click on this continue button. So then only the data will get saved. Now see, data was saved. So like this, we are going to create a company in the SAP. Now come back, and then come back, and then go again, and then check whether the company was created successfully or not. So for that, either you can go to the drop down method to check, or else you can click on the position and then enter your company. What is your company? AM10, right? Enter that AM10 ID here, and then check whether your company got created successfully or not. Now see, AM10 company got created successfully. If you want to do the changes, you can just double click on this, and then you can do whatever the changes you want, and then click on the save button. whenever you create something in SAP, whenever we change something in SAP, at each and every time, the system is going to ask this customizing request number. Okay. Now click on the continue. So then the data will get saved. Now see the data got saved. So like this, we are going to create a company in the SAP. Okay. If you want, we can create it by using the T code also. That is OX15. Okay. Any doubts until now?
No, sir. No, sir.
Sir, can you please explain once again about customizing request? I can't understand.
Whenever you click on the save button, whenever you try to create something, or else whenever kindly go on mute. So whenever you try to say something, okay, or else whenever you try to change something, so at that point of time, the system will be automatically asking you to enter a customizing request number. So why it is asking me?
Yes.
Yeah, you can go on mute, Dinesh. There is no need to be on mute, because we are getting some disturbance from your end. Yeah. So yeah, so why the system is going to ask that customizing request means, but why? Because in the future, if someone want to know like who is the person created those configurations, okay, so at that point of time, they can be, they can be able to check with that user ID. So who is the person who created those respective configurations? So for that, we are having some T code like SC09. Okay, so in the T code, we can be able to go and check who is the person who created those respective configurations. So once we get the SAP user ID, and then we can be able to know the respective person also. So for that is the reason we are going to enter this customizing request. It is not like we are entering SAP itself default, they have designed like that. Okay. So for each and every configuration, so it will be asking to enter a customizing request number. Either you can continue with your old customizing request number, or else we can create a new customizing request number by clicking on the create request. Okay, so that will all depend upon your client requirement. And the session is getting recorded, so there is no need to worry. You'll be getting the sessions directly to your mail ID, and then you can listen how many times, like whatever the number of times you want, you can be able to listen. That won't be an issue. Any doubts still?
No, sir.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, now see here. So now let us see the next organizational unit, that is the company code. So we will see how to create a company code in the SAP. So for that, what is the navigation? The same navigation, enterprise structure, definition. You need to go to the financial accounting. Under the financial accounting, so here you need to go to the edit, copy, delete, check company code. Once you go inside the edit, copy, delete, check company code, so here you need to click on the edit company code data. Once you click on this edit company code data, the same thing, you need to go to the new entries and then enter a unique ID. I'm going to enter the unique ID as some AM20. Enter the company code name. I'm going to enter some Nike India company code. Okay. And if you see here, there is a required field. Why? Because if you see for the currency, there is a black tick mark. Whenever you see the black tick mark, it means it is a required field. Okay. So unless and until we fill something in this required field, we cannot be able to proceed with the next process. We cannot be able to save the data. But still, I am just clicking on the save button. Why? Because I want to see what is the error does the system is going to throw. Now click on the save button and see what happens. Fill in all required entry fields. It means that this currency, it is a required field. So unless and until we fill something here, we cannot be able to save our data. Now again click on the save button. If there are any mandatory fields again in this respective screen, it is going to throw an error, or it will take you directly to the respective field so that we can be able to fill that mandatory field. Now click on the save button and see what happens. Now see, the system took us directly to the address details. Why? Because Here, the country, it is a required field. Enter the country, that is IN. The country, it is a required field. Okay. So once we have entered the country field here, now click on the continue, and then it is asking again the customization request. So whenever we create something, whenever we change something, it is going to ask for the customization request for sure. Now click on the continue. Now the data will get saved. Now see, the data got saved. Now see, the data got saved without any issues. If you want to do some changes, you can just double click on this, and then you can do whatever the changes you want. So like this, we are going to create a company code. Now I will tell you one scenario. I created this AM20 company code. Okay, that is fine. But after 2 days, the client came to me and then asked like, can you please delete the AM20 company code? Why? Because we have sent the wrong details. Okay, or else you'll be asking is, there is no need for to create the AM20 company code, but you need to create some other company code, and then the client has sent me those new details. Now, when I got the new details, and then when I compared that the new details with my old company code, all the address details were somewhat similar. So at that point of time, instead of deleting the first company code and then entering each and every data again and again manually in my second company code, what I can do is I can copy the data from the first company code to the second company code. So how we are going to do is, now see here, click on this copy delete check company code. Now click on this copy button. AM20 is my current company code, right? But the client want to delete this AM20 company code, and then he want to create me, and then he want to create a new company code, that is AM21. Now, instead of deleting AM20, what I am going to do is I am going to copy the data all the way from AM20 to the AM21, so that all the details will get copied. So then AM21 company code will get created. Once it got created, okay, and after that we can delete this AM20. Now click on the enter button. Now see, all the details will get copied automatically. We just need to click on the enter. That's it. All the details will get copied automatically. So in this way, we are going to copy the data from one company code to the another company code. Now see, click on the continue button. Now see, company code AM20, copy to AM21. Click on the enter button and then come back. And then go to this edit company code data again, and then check whether your new company code got created successfully or not. Now see, click on the position, enter AM21, and then see what happens. AM21 got created successfully. If you want to do some changes in this AM21, you can go inside that, and then you can do whatever the changes you want according to your client requirement. Now save and then click on the continue. Now come back. Now I want to delete the AM20, right? If you want to delete the AM20, you just need to select that and then click on this delete button. That's it. Click on the enter. Now see, the data was, number of data entries, that is 1. Even if you go and check, there is no AM20. So like this, we can create a company code. Like this, we can copy the details of a company code. And like this, we can delete the company code also. Okay, so this is how we are going to create a company code in the SAP. But the T code is OX02. Okay, and we will discuss about the plan, show location, each and everything in the tomorrow session at the same time. Okay, so that's it for today. Anyone have any doubts?
No, clear.
Okay.
No, sir. Fine. Thank you.
Yeah, I will send the recording session to your mail ID. So listen this as many times as possible. Okay, so that you can be able to adopt the new, this new terminology, whatever we are having in the SAP. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, then we'll meet tomorrow at the same time.
Okay.